Good morning, honorable adjudicators, fellow debaters, and of course, everyone who is watching. My name is Jemima Sahuleka, and I am from SMAN68 Jakarta, presenting DKI Jakarta. And today, I'll be speaking as the first speaker of the opposition team under the motion, "This House prefers the strategy of pushing for institutional reform to address police abuse and misconduct rather than defunding the police." First of all, I would like to say that we agree to the definition and the context that has been given by the government team, stating of the example of Black Lives Matter. Moving on to introducing my team split. So for the first speaker, me, I would be giving 2 rebuttals in this case and 2 arguments. And for my second speaker, she would be further elaborating the arguments and giving a few rebuttals. For my third speaker, she will be giving a few examples, rebuttals, conclusion, and of course clash points throughout this debate. Moving on to my rebuttals. The first speaker of the government team has stated that the police assistance is actually decreasing. Yes, maybe if you see it in amount, of course it's actually decreasing because we are actually defending this police. But what the government hasn't seen, or maybe do not see, is that we are actually increasing the quality of the police itself. By actually decreasing the quantity, we are actually increasing the quality. And we could actually increase the safety of our community itself, because the funding of the police, it could be actually allocated for other sectors of safety that is inside our community. For example, the public building safeties and so on. I would further elaborate it in my arguments. And for my second rebuttal is that the effectiveness and the problems created by the defunding of the police. Yes, maybe it created a few problems, but what you do not see is that we are actually decreasing the amount of criminal rates. We are actually giving a deterrent effect towards the polices that actually are making the abuse and the misconduct itself, that I will also further elaborate in my arguments. Moving on to my arguments. I have stated in my rebuttals that we are actually increasing the amount of safetiness because of the quality is actually increasing. Because, as you can see, for example, a police, maybe we are not actually defending the police. There are so many in every kind of states we have. And in one condition also, we are actually defending the police, but we have a much more better quality of the police, which actually decreases the amount of criminal rates. So which one would you rather choose? The one with amount or with quality? Because for example, if we have the amount, we are not actually having the same amount of safety with the polices that have been defunded to actually go to work. And by having these much more quality of the police itself, we are actually increasing the amount of safety in our community. Because as we stated, that the quality doesn't actually matter. If the police are actually qualified, we won't have the decreasing amount of safety in our community. Moving on to my second argument about the deterrence itself. Why do you think that this is deterrence? Well, the opposition team would like to state that because, for example, if you put institutional reform, maybe yes, it will actually help a bit. But by defunding these polices, maybe a few of the polices that hasn't committed any crime would actually get these. But imagine how much would it affect. For example, if a police without criminal history and one with, and then 2 of them got actually defunded, maybe the one is not actually it's not really that justice to do that. But with that, you could actually create amount of solidarity inside the institution, the police institution itself, because it will motivate other police to actually not commit criminal rates, and we are actually decreasing these criminal rates. So what the government has stated, the effectiveness and the problems created, it's actually by the institutional reform itself. Because how long has it been from Martin Luther King to George Floyd? We have given a lot of time for the police to actually reform their institutions, to actually make it better for a long amount of time. And what do we get? What do we actually get from those a lot of amount of time? No, nothing. And now we are actually proposing the defunding of the police itself. We are actually proposing a better solution, because as we see right now, there are a lot of protests of having defunding the police. And now, like for example, the government team has stated of the US, they're actually making an action because of the defunding of the police itself. And how about the institutional reform? Are they actually making any progress from a lot of amount of time? Are they actually making a progress towards it? I believe not. I mean, look around. Are they actually making progress in the institutional reform itself? So by the decreasing criminal rates and by the increasing safety in the community, we, the opposition team, proposes that we should defund the police rather than having the institutional reform to address police abuse and misconduct. Because the institutional reform is not actually making a big benefit towards us, rather than the defunding police. So from all of my arguments, from all of my rebuttals, the opposition team would like to state that this House would not prefer the strategy of pushing for institutional reform to address police abuse and misconduct rather than defunding the police. For the sake of the safety of the community and for the sake of decreasing the criminal rates, we raise our case. Thank you.